I had to start off with a smile. Good night, good night, good night. It's a great night to have a great night. We should say that. Glad to be here. Let me pull my camera back a little bit. Had to go kind of close. So let's get it going. My name is Toria Howard, and I am a real estate professional here in the wonderful city of Detroit and the surrounding areas. I'm also educated by day, and today was rough. At work today. Well, it was work for the children. I felt bad for them because I had to take a test. But I'm here to educate you on how to winterize your home for those of you that are future homeowners and for those homeowners alike. So let's get into it. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're watching this live. Drop a 2 if you're new to my live, and drop a 3 if you're watching a replay. And I really appreciate it. I'm here for a short time, not a long time, but it's some valuable information. So as a realtor, I always, tell my clients, new and old, that they have to save for those mechanicals for their biggest investment that they're going to. I know people say if it's not making you money, it's not an investment, but you invest in it, but so it is an investment in a sense. So you just have to learn how to use, the money that you already have to just keep your property, your investment in its best condition. And I always tell people to budget what they know they will need for a roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and foundation. And some of these things that I'm going to talk about tonight are ways that you can help prevent some of these things from happening to you. So you should always, those are the 5 biggest components of your house. Even though you have insurance, and you should, sometimes insurance companies can find a way not to pay. So in case that happens or that occurs, then you will have that nest egg. So even though you buy a home, it's not over with. You have to reinvest into the home that you're living in. And that's one of the mistakes I made. I did a little here, a little there, but I had insurance, but I didn't really protect my home the way that I should have to prevent some of the things that happened to it. So here, I'm gonna give you 4 tips today. So, of course, those of you that live in the north, like we do, um, energy costs in the wintertime is crazy because a lot, especially if you have gas too. So, if you have to pay for gas and electrical, gas be through the roof in the wintertime, right? So, you have to make sure that you're sealing windows and doors. So if those of you that have older windows and things of that nature, look into replacing those windows. Look into, getting some more energy efficient, even though you might spend more money in the long run. I mean, in the short term, but it'll save you in the long run. But if you don't have the money to, fix the windows or replace your windows, and I learned something because I'm getting my contractor's license. I learned something too. You have to know the difference in the windows that you're getting because some are better than the others. And, some people think they're getting custom windows when they're not. So you have to just be careful with the wording. You have to make sure that you read everything. But that's a different story for a different day. So some of the things that you can use to seal your windows, you can do weather stripping or caulking. Some people put like plastic over the windows, depending on if it's a room like upper level or something where you're not going to use. So it's so many different things that you can do to make it more energy efficient. You got to stop the air from coming in. And if you have a draft from your door, they have like the little things that you can put on your door frame at the bottom that'll help stop the air from going in and out because it gets cold, baby. It gets cold. So you have to do some energy efficient things to save on that electric bill because those of us that want that big house, that big mansion, well, you won't have that problem, right? Because it's going to be somewhere else, maybe not so cold. But nevertheless, if you're in a place where it's cold, some people like the winter. I love it here in Michigan. I love it here in Detroit. Even though it does get cold and it be cold more than it's warm, I can say that there's no other place like this. But the winter can be brutal. So make sure that you're preparing by being more energy efficient. So clean out your gutters. Like people don't understand the importance of that. Things, especially if you're in a state where um, like 4 seasons and the trees fall is, I mean, you constantly raking, but you're not looking at the collection in your gutters. So cleaning your gutters will clear them from making like ice dams and clogging up the spouts and things of that nature. So, we won't mess up your roof. Like I said, you need to make sure that you are doing all that you can to protect that biggest, I should say, investment that you choose to partake in. So you have to make sure that you are doing your best to clean those gutters and different things like that. So I was going to share. So make sure that you're doing that, cleaning those gutters. And, I've cleaned gutters before. I know, right? That's crazy. It might not seem like I'm the type that go up there, but I've done it on that long ladder and scoop that stuff up out of there, because it's so important. You want to protect your roof. You want to protect the wood. If you have wood that's on the top, you don't want any rotting wood, because rotting wood can cost a lot of money to get repaired. So that's another thing about water seepage and things of that nature. Water and a lot of moisture can damage your wood, especially on the outside. So you just need to make sure that you're, making sure that your wood is prepped as well on the outside of your home. That's just a little bonus tip. Find somebody to paint you, put some, protect it on your wood so it can protect it from, the weathering and the winter and the water damage outside of cleaning your gutters. So the third thing is checking your furnace and your HVAC system. So of course you should be scheduling maintenance for that. If you have a new home, maybe you have a warranty on it still because it's brand new. Or if you have a home warranty, they usually have it where they can come out and give you a winterized check to make sure that it's running properly, because a HVAC system going down, or duct system, furnace going down, can really be bad in these northern cities like Detroit. You don't want to go without heat, especially when it gets in the thick of it, especially like February. Anybody agree with me that February is one of the hardest months in Michigan? Okay, February. I don't know what it is about February. Into March too. March can be a little brutal, but like right now, like this is our weather here has been pretty good for the most part. It was a little chilly today. It was like, oh, we coming, we feeling it. The winter is coming. That's why I wanted to do this live today, because getting people prepared for those winter months. So you can check by replacing your filters and, ensuring your vents are clear. Get your air ducts clean. Like people don't realize, that's one of the things that I suggest to my clients when they first buy a home that's already, somebody has already lived in, especially people that have lived in for a long extended period of time. You have to get the air ducts clean. Your air quality in your home, is your health. So you need to make sure that you're getting those air ducts clean. And especially if you're moving into a home that has been owned by somebody else, you to definitely get those air ducts clean. I know we waited a couple years before we got our air ducts cleaned in my house, and I couldn't even believe all the stuff was coming out of one vent. It was piles and piles and piles of dust and dirt and all types of stuff. So if you have an older home, you definitely need to do that. And the last thing is protecting your outdoor faucets and pipes. And I know in Memphis, so if you're still, shout out to all my Memphis people. If you're in Memphis, it's a really bad situation where if you don't protect those outside faucets and cover them, and they swell and they, burst, it can be detrimental. It happened, you know, to a neighbor of mine. It didn't happen to me because I always had my covers on. You need to make sure that everything is drained, covering it from the freezing, and you want to insulate pipes to avoid costly repairs. So that's something that you need to ask when you're talking about buying a home is how old is the plumbing? Is the plumbing insulated if you stand in a winter climate? So you need to make sure that all of those things are functioning. So like I said, I wasn't staying on for a long time. I just wanted to give you 4 tips for homeowners, future homeowners, on how to winterize your home. So first and foremost, sealing windows and doors, whatever you hit, caulking or weather stripping, for your door, caulking for your windows. And if you can afford it, buy some new windows and know the difference between custom and regular. Because they'll tell you custom windows and people are not installing them for real because they know you don't know. So they just think because it looks good, it's custom. No. So just make sure that you put that in the budget at either replacing your windows, and you might be in a situation where if you're in the city of Detroit, that they are, could be some funds available. You just never know. Cleaning the gutters, that's the number 2 tip. Making sure that everything is free from it, not clogging anything, because if that backs up and the water gets on your house, it can damage the roof, it can damage the wood, and that's a costly repair. So make sure that you are being mindful of that, and then checking your furnace and your HVAC, because you don't want this thing not to be not to be functioning and it's cold outside. So, but the best way to do that is simply check on it, replacing the filters whenever it needs to be replaced and all of that. And then the last thing is protecting your outdoor faucets. Like, please, please, please. I know people, maybe don't think they should. And, we from Detroit and all that. But if you have those new pipes and you need to make sure that you are, covering those faucets, not just for, smaller kids. I don't have any smaller kids anymore. So, but just making sure that you are protecting those outside faucets and pipes and making sure that it's not going to back up to your house, because if it does, water does a lot of damage. I was just thinking, what is worse, water damage or fire damage? Because they both can, you let me know in the comments what you think is worse, but a fire or a flood in the house. So I bid you adieu. Now time is up. I just wanted to give you those tidbits and see, how I can assist you. I can assist you from the beginning, where you first starting out, coaching you through your credit or whatever the case may be, and then to the closing table. And if you're not from not from the United States, if you're not from my area, which is Michigan, Detroit area, surrounding areas, I know real estate agents all across this country. I can help you find the perfect one for you, because I'm always networking. So let me know how I can assist. Everybody have an amazing day or night. It's night. Have an amazing night.